Yes, so I'm with, is it Christian and Felix, before I get that wrong, from BRUTAI.
Yep.
And I saw you guys at Hammerfest, which was really, really good. How do you kind of, just jumping straight into it,
that's cool.
How do you kind of feel that the UK festival circuit's kind of helped you guys out?
Massively, I'd say. I mean, obviously my first show with the guys was TechFest, so, and that was awesome. And it's like a good intro to the scene, and then
I mean, we did Bloodstock a couple of years ago before Christian was in the band, and we were playing the new Blood stage. So now to come up and as the band's growing, and obviously Bloodstock have noticed that we've been growing, and so they pop us on the Sophie stage this time. So no, it's actually incredible. UK festivals have been very kind to us, very accommodating towards us. We played quite a few of them. Obviously Hammerfest that you've been to, TechFest, Mammothfest as well. So we love them all, and you know, it's the second time playing here, and hopefully it won't be the last. Yeah.
So let's hope not. Let's hope not. So for those guys who don't know you, what would you use one word to describe your band? You can't use the same word.
What? So one word each.
Yeah.
One word each.
One word each.
Diverse.
Dynamic.
Kind of the same word. Almost.
Kind of the same word. Alright, I'll go for heavy then.
Well, I mean, diverse in terms that we are metal. That's one thing that you cannot deny about our band. But it's kind of, you can't. People will have a hard time pigeonholing us, because one song will sound a bit more of the kind of groovier sort of like almost poppier side, where you have more clean vocals, hookier parts, and sounds like a bit more progressive, like a bit heavier in places. So that's probably why I say diverse.
Yeah, I think where that comes from as well is that we've all got quite different musical backgrounds as well. Like we've got a couple of classical trained guitar, like Henry's a guitarist who's classically trained. Matt's also had some of that, but with jazz, and then we've all done the whole rock and metal circuit. So
my family's from a pop background, so and same with our keyboard player Alex. He's had a trumpet. His dad's a trumpet player who's sessioned for like the Police and people like that. So we come from very different backgrounds. It's probably why, although we have
trying to put it together in it.
Yeah, we all love metal, but we all bring different types of metal to the table.
Yeah, definitely.
Like one thing I noticed with you, I think I actually wrote this, was that you're the vocalist, aren't you?
Yes. Right.
I remember faces. I don't remember like people's names. But you kind of have you've got a very fast range on what you can do, which I noticed, and I thought that was really cool. And that's
vast range.
Vast range.
Oh, vast range. Sorry, fast. I can go.
So no, 1 minute it was kind of like really low and guttural sort of thing, and then it was like clean vocals. The next. Whoa.
So you start that question again.
Right.
Yeah, so one thing I really noticed was how you can kind of switch up between the two. Have you had much training to do that, or have you just picked it up?
I'll be honest. With the normal singing, I've been brought around singers all my life, and I did actually do some classical singing like back in school. But the whole guttural, like that kind of vocal was kind of self-taught thing, just singing along to Slipknot and Opeth in my teenage years, just kind of like in a weird way. So yeah, exactly like that, and sounded like the Cookie Monster a little bit.
So one question I've been asking people all weekend so far is, what's the one thing you hate about the metal scene?
I would say, specifically, it's this. So you turn up at the gig, and we especially like to watch all the bands and make sure that we're supportive of each other. When you're sound checking, it's this. I hate that, because it's like, I feel like we're being judged for what we do, you know what I mean? And it's like,
I naturally stand like that, so...
Yeah, well that's fine, but it's like, it shouldn't be about that, like everybody should be supporting each other, because we're all trying to keep the scene alive.
Well, it's one thing I wouldn't say I hate, but it's just that there's a small percentage of the metal world that can be a bit elitist. Kind of like if you don't scream over 4/4 time signatures over 240 BPM where everything's going super fast, then they're not going to want to hear it. Like that's the thing about us as well, is like sometimes we play really fast, and sometimes we slow it down for a chorus. Just like we hope in our music there's a bit there for everyone.
Well, that's what we did kind of with the single releases as well, wasn't it?
Yeah.
We released Deep, which is quite, I'd say almost like quite a poppy tune.
Yeah, it's groovy, it's a bit poppy in places, and then Of Ashes
is way more technical,
proggy,
fast, proggy, everything. It's like straight in your face.
So it's a bit of everything. So if there's one thing I dislike, it's you can get a small percentage of the crowd being a bit narrow-minded, not very open. If it doesn't cater to their likes of a type of metal, then they can be very shut-offish and be like, oh, you don't play really, really fast and scream all the time. We scream and we sing, and if you like lots of types of metal, then you'll probably enjoy us.
So do you find, because you're so diverse, that you're not what people expected when they book you for gigs?
Yes and no. Yes and no.
I'd say that.
Yeah. I mean, I probably think that's probably a part of our charm. Yeah. Sorry, I just catching our keyboard player doing a really weird impression over there. Sorry, caught me off guard. What was the question? Sorry.
I said that. Do you find that you kind of get categorised as things, and people are surprised when they book you?
Yeah. They do, because sometimes that they'll just listen to Deep, for example, which was our main single released a few months ago, and that's a bit more groove orientated, poppy orientated, and then we play like a new single,
or even the back catalogue.
Yeah, the back catalogue of our EP is very much a bit heavier, so you're going to get a bit of everything, and we try and cater our set list to the type of crowd that we think we're going to play. We're playing to a crowd that's a bit more on the melodic side of the metal world. Then we might cut a heavier track and put in something else, or sometimes we might just go in at the deep end and play a heavier one for the softer crowd. Why not?
Okay. Do you guys have anything you want to add?
Yeah, debut album Born is coming out towards the end of the year. Should have some news on that in the next couple of months. So
plenty of gigs coming up as well.
Yeah, plenty of gigs. We're opening for Soilwork on Thursday 24th at London Underworld.
We've got the Monolith all day on the 21st as well.
21st, supporting Zokes and
the big one obviously is January. We're on tour with Devil You Know, obviously Howard Jones, ex-Killswitch.
So. From Killswitch Engage, and also Wearing Scars are on that bill, and Soil Westfield Massacre.
That's a 15-day UK tour, that is. So
very busy.
Cool. It's lovely meeting you.
Thanks very much. Thank you very much.
Catch you guys sometime.
Sorry about it.